Let's first take a look at online research. Now, in this era of the internet, we all know that we should be doing some online research before we go into an interview, or if we want to research companies for possibilities of opportunities. However, in the overwhelming number of circumstances, individuals do not do adequate online research. So here are just a few tips to drive your online research. Number one, and most obviously, start with the corporate website. You can get tons of information. Number two, now switch over and do corporate social media websites. Many companies today have Facebook, Google Plus websites, they have LinkedIn pages. You want to research all of those in depth. Now let's dig a little bit deeper. Number three, you want to research every executive that you will be interviewing. Now I'm not just talking about LinkedIn, but rather a full internet search. Try to find out, have they written any articles, given any speeches, conducted any media interviews? Have they been a presenter at trade shows, conferences, or conventions? Any information that you can develop will be of outstanding value. If some of the articles are relevant, print them out and take them with you into the interview. And if appropriate, comment on them. You will be playing to that executive's ego, and they will respect the fact that you did the research into your background before the interview. Now, step number four, let's continue to dig deeper. Let's start researching the products they manufacture or services they provide. Particularly, let's dig in and find any reviews on their company's products or services and/or complaints. And let's find out whether or not those reviews or complaints are valid, so that you can have an understanding of issues, concerns, challenges, or insights into the organization's products and services. You might even be able to identify when you're online lawsuits that the company has faced, and whether that would be relevant as to whether you want to go to work for that company or not. And point number five, research competitive products. Find out how your targeted company stacks up against all of the competition. This may help you definitively determine whether or not you want to work for that organization. Now, here's a step that can totally set you apart from all of your competitors. I want you to get out from behind your computer, get off your butt, get in your car, and go on out and do some field research. The overwhelming number of executives do not take this step. So I want you to go out and shop that company's products and/or services really in depth. See them for yourself, whether that's at a retail store or maybe it might be at a wholesaler or distributor. So if at all possible, you want to take a close look at how the products and services are being sold. Step number two, do the same thing for that company's competitors. Again, the information and what you learn will be priceless. Number three, interview in person customers, vendors, and even employees. Now, there are a number of different ways to do this. You can use your own imagination, but customers, if it's in a retail store, go ahead and ask them. Vendors, you can identify who's making some of their products, particularly if you are going through distributors or manufacturers and you can determine who's manufacturing the product. Go ahead and talk to their vendors. And last but not least, perhaps by way of LinkedIn, you can interview or talk to some of their employees or colleagues. It's a very powerful way to gain some information. Now, I have never yet run into a situation where a company was upset or concerned because you went out and talked with other people that were involved in that company's operations or organization. Rather, it's a grand slam home run. Just a little quick side story of a personal example. Over 20 years ago, I interviewed for the position as a professor at Linfield College up in Oregon. Prior to my interview, I went in there 2 days ahead of time. I spent one full day on campus on my own. I went to lunch at the school and made it a point to sit with students, and I interviewed the students about the professors, about the school, about its reputation, what the pros and cons were of the school, and I found this absolutely invaluable. When I went through my series of interviews the following day, I was light years ahead of all of the competition, and by the end of the day, I had secured the position at Linfield College. Number 4, evaluate the sales and marketing strategies that your targeted company is implementing. Now, when you're doing your field research, you might be able to identify the distribution channels, take a look at the advertising campaigns, evaluate their pricing policies. It is a powerful way to gain some insight into exactly what your targeted company is doing. Number 5, if appropriate and possible, purchase the product and or service and use it. Now, obviously, that's not possible in all cases, but if you can, please do so. What ends up occurring, or actually the next step after the field research and the online research, is that you should prepare a summary of your observations and insights. Now, here's a caution. Don't do the company's work for them. No, you're not being paid for this time you're putting in. You don't want to give away all of your secrets and your strategies. However, you do want to show them you know what, where, when, why, and how to solve that organization's problems, implement solutions, cut costs, and drive revenue. Then, number 1, you can submit that summary to the key decision maker to open up the door of opportunity or secure an interview. Or, number 2, you can reference that summary you prepared during your interview. A couple of things are going to happen. Number 1, you are going to be the standard by which all others are measured when you go through your interview with that targeted company. But number 2, something very unique happens as well. The interview will now be about them and not about you. It will be a business meeting instead of an interview, and your odds of landing the job just skyrocketed. So do your homework. Go into that interview prepared, and you will come out a winner. So if you enjoyed these tips, please hit the like button. And if you are seeking a new challenge, I would enjoy the opportunity to talk with you. Take care. Have a great day.